During any epidemic, there's lots of death and chaos and panic and confusion, right? And so naturally it creates a window of opportunity for murder, especially if the symptoms of a certain kind of poison look similar to the symptoms of the disease that is sweeping across the population. It's kind of the perfect moment for some murderers by poison to slip by. And that has happened historically. I mean, in India, the Coroners Act of 1871 had a special rule which said that inquests for all deaths in prison would be carried out, but not if they thought that the person had died of cholera or some other epidemic disease. It wasn't just in prison, it was more broadly as well. And so that's an example where the normal rules get suspended, and that creates like a window of opportunity for murder by poison. The perpetual question, if you were a toxicology expert in colonial India, was, did this person die of illness or did they die of poison? I encountered one case, for instance, from Bengal where there was a cholera outbreak. The whole family died and was buried. Everyone assumed, they died of cholera. But then the authorities received some kind of a tip that actually they should dig up the bodies and test them. And they did it, and they found that the whole family had been poisoned with arsenic. And they also learned that the family had been involved in a property dispute over some land. When this didn't work was when a person died of a contagious disease. And in fact, there was no outbreak of that disease at the time. There's a very famous, notorious case in 1933 in Calcutta when a man died of plague. But there was no plague outbreak at the time. The thing was that there was only one place in the country that really had samples of plague culture, and that was the Haffkine Institute. What they realized was that there were these two brothers who had been having an inheritance-based dispute. And the older brother had a physician friend, and they hatched this elaborate scheme where they went to Bombay. The doctor friend pretended to be doing research, and he needed to get some of the plague culture for his research. And then they had a hired man with some of the plague culture in a syringe who stuck it into the younger brother when he was on the platform of a train station. And so in one way it was this elaborate and ingenious scheme, but in another way it was really not very smart at all because there was not a plague outbreak. And so the authorities were able to kind of reconstruct the path and figure out what happened.